Welcome to Science with Bobert, a YouTube channel dedicated to sharing science with you in a fun and interactive way. Enjoy!
I am helping Bobert out with his Newton's first law experiment. Bobert told me to stand on this red X so that I can introduce you to inertia. I wonder who inertia is. I assume it is someone that is closely related to Newton. Oh, here comes inertia now. Wow! It was really nice meeting you, Mr. Inertia. Hey, can we do that again?
Newton's first law of motion states that an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Newton's first law is also known as the law of inertia. Simply put, objects like to keep doing what they are already doing and don't want to change. Have you ever carried a glass of water that is completely full? Have you noticed when the water is most likely to spill? When you first pick up the glass, you are likely to spill because the water is initially in a state of rest, and you are trying to make it move. Even when you try to change directions, you are changing the state of motion. The water wanted to keep going in the direction it was originally headed. When you try to put it down, because you are trying to make it change from a state of motion to a state of rest. Water isn't the only thing that resists changes in motion. Anything that has mass does. The more mass, the more it resists the change. For example, Dr. Smith put 54 feet of beads in this coffee pot. Watch what happens when he gives one end of it a little tug. The beads just keep going. Here's another example of inertia, using a plastic plate and a pile of pennies. Find a plastic plate and cut out a rectangle. Inertia is what allows you to knock out the bottom penny from the pile. If you do not have a plastic plate, you can do the same thing with a butter knife and a pile of nickels. Here in slow motion, Dr. Smith is using the plastic rectangle to continually knock out the bottom nickel in a pile of nickels. You can also demonstrate the law of inertia with a bottle, piece of paper, and a pile of quarters, as shown here. Dr. Smith thinks he can do even better. He switched the paper with U.S. currency and increased the number of quarters. Good luck with this, Dr. Smith. Can you make a nickel stand on its edge? It is harder than it looks. Dr. Smith is going to construct one of the first water pumps. it uses inertia. To build it, he is using a straw, wood skewer, and a bowl of water. He first pushes the sharp end completely through one end of the straw. He then pushes the straw up the skewer so he can attach the other end of the straw onto the skewer. He attaches the skewer to only one lip of the straw because he wants water to easily enter the straw through this hole. He is now cutting a water exit hole at the bend of the straw. Do you see how the inertia water pump works? Slow motion might help. As the skewer is twisted, the straw travels in a circle. The water that entered the straw shoots out the exit hole because it wants to keep traveling in a straight line and resist the change in direction that occurs with circular motion. The water comes out of the exit hole because the water wants to keep traveling in a straight line or tangent from the circular path taken by the straw. Nothing is really frictionless, but this spinning magnet is pretty close. When Dr. Smith spins it, it just keeps going and going. Let's move on. You may not have one of those spinning magnets anyway, but I bet you can obtain a balloon and a quarter. That is what Dr. Smith is going to use next to illustrate inertia. First, he inserts the quarter into the balloon, then blows the balloon up. He then ties the balloon. Now check this out. When Dr. Smith makes circular motions with the balloon, he can get the quarter inside the balloon to travel around and around inside the balloon. It just keeps going and going. Can you hear it? That sound is from the serrated edges of the quarter. I wonder if this would work even better with different coins. You should try it. Let's review. Newton's first law is also known as the law of inertia. The law of inertia states that an object will remain at rest or moving at a constant speed and direction until acted upon by an unbalanced force. Usually that unbalanced force is friction.